Hello and welcome back to the All Next Car channel. My name's Danny Nevills and today we have the Range Rover Sport. This particular variant is the HSE, which is important to note when you come to ordering or specifying your vehicle. I particularly like these large gloss black alloys, as you can see here, giving it a real special look and feel throughout. Aspects such as this large spoiler at the back gives it a great accent and a very aggressive rear end to the car. The doors are nice and solid, very sturdy, meaning they won't just fly away or blow away in the wind. And as you can see here, it's got a lovely sound to when you open and close the vehicle. With the seats being around waist height, I'm 6 foot in height, but you can see here, you literally just slide into the car, as you can see just there, making it very comfortable, convenient and easy for all passengers and drivers. Privacy glass, in my opinion, is a must, particularly when it comes to sport, giving that very sporty, edgy style which you're looking for when it comes to a sporty SUV. The boot has plenty of space, as you can see there, with the automatic lift on the boot as well. And you also have the automatic lowering of the boot, so you don't have to get your hands dirty after a long drive. The boot opens nice and easily as you click the button on the remote, giving it an easy, convenient lift. Within the boot space, as you can see here, there's plenty of space to add lots of luggage. So depending on how large your bags are, obviously that might vary, but there's plenty of space here for 5 people to chuck all their bags in the back, jump in and head off to a road trip across Europe. Some of the grills and vents are for aesthetics, but of course it does give that special design, particularly on the sport model. Entering the vehicle, you have luxurious leather, and you can just slide in nice and easily and sit and enjoy this vehicle. Steering wheel has a lovely trim, as you can see around it here. And it's all these little accents and little special parts that make the Range Rover brand so good. And that's why Range Rover have had such great success in not only selling vehicles, but also having buyers come and buy again and again. The residual value on Range Rover as a brand is very good, meaning that whilst the investment may be slightly higher than some other competitive options, it is a unique vehicle in elements within its class. But most importantly, the residual values are actually very good, meaning that you'll get most of your money back, or a lot of your money back, when it comes to selling the car. Things such as the infotainment system have seen a lovely upgrade, as you can see here, giving it much more screens. You've got a screen in front of you and 2 to the left of you, giving it a very digital, modern 2022 feel. As you can see here, we've got the piano black accents and the chrome finish metal as well. You can slide this open, you've got 2 large cup holders and also space for your mobile phone just to sit in here, as you can see there. So it's very convenient for the driver to have obviously access to your mobile phone if you need to, and space for a couple of coffees. Just under here, just under the armrest, you'll see a large space for further storage, and also USB slots as well as a micro SIM slot as well. Just in here is actually a fridge built into this version, so you can of course turn it into cold mode as well if you have anything that you wish to keep cold. As you can see here, the digital display is ultra modern and to the latest specifications of newer vehicles. As you can see here, the infotainment system actually leans forward, so it adjusts the line height and visibility to the screen, and that's very noticeable because on some vehicles it's flat or it's in a stuck position, meaning that you get a lot of glare sometimes or shine from the sun onto the screen and making it hard to see the infotainment system itself. The infotainment system is logical and easy to use. You literally just click the button, and it's fairly swift as well, to be fair. You can get some lag on some of these infotainment systems, but it's not the case here. So you've obviously got a climate control for mid, high and low level airflow. You have heated seats, which you can go up to level 3 or back off. You've then got your vehicle information, whether you want to go into eco mode or what terrain you're driving along. And of course, standard settings such as heat to the front and rear windscreens. You also have an electrically heated windscreen on this model, so you see very, very, very finely electric sort of banding throughout the windscreen, but I'll be honest, you can't see it at all unless you really, really look for it. That being said, you can defrost the windscreen very quickly. And then of course you've got your settings for display and climate preferences. Along this screen, you have sort of the more traditional options you may see within the Range Rover within the Range Rovers. You've got your navigation, and one click and you're there. You've then got your media, and you can click through all your favourite radio stations, including DAB. And then you've got your telephone, where you can type in a number, see your recent contacts or calls, or select a favourite option. You can then slide one across and you've got both Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto in this vehicle. So you may want to check the specifications in every single version, but this particular one has Apple and Android connectivity, which is more and more of an important specification, as obviously tech lovers, and we're all technology based these days, prefer to have all the facilities within the vehicle. You can also browse the internet, connect up to Bluetooth and view the vehicle dimensions if you ever need them. For example, entering car parks, if you want to check the height, you can then just check it there and go in accordingly. You also have valet mode, which of course is beneficial if you are using valet facilities. You can also do everything via voice command, and the voice command system's pretty good, to be fair. This particular version has the panoramic roof, which really does bring the outdoors in, and it makes the overall interior very spacious indeed. On a full tank, you'll get around, it suggests you'll get around 460 miles on a full tank, and this is the diesel option. However, you're probably going to get about 380, 400 miles overall when you consider things like incline, decline, weather conditions, weight, etc. So it's a very good range, around 400, 420 miles. Very good indeed. So just here, you've got the buttons to adjust the panoramic roof if you want to take cover and reduce the amount of light coming into the vehicle. You literally just click it here, as you can see. So now you have a more darker, intimate driving experience if you don't want the outside coming into the vehicle, or if you've got young ones in the back who may be sleeping and you want to keep it nice and shady for them. Likewise, if you want to bring the outdoors back in, you just click the button, hold it down, or let go and release, and it will obviously just go all the way back. This one has the Meridian sound system, so as you can see spotted around the vehicle, you'll see the Meridian speakers, just so you can see here. And I must say that system is incredibly good. You have the option to save seats with 3 memory options and a 16-way seating position. Just on here, you have the buttons which are nice and solid to open and close windows, and it's important to note they're located just above the door, as you can see here. Just at the back here, you have heated seats for the rear passengers, which on a day like today is very favourable indeed, being slightly cold in the UK. You've got space here just for mobile phones, maybe a tablet. The armrest pops down nicely, and you've got space here for 2 more cup holders, so rear passengers can sit nice and cozy whilst they enjoy a lovely Costa coffee. Headroom is fine. As you can see, I'm 6 foot tall and I've got plenty of headspace. I'm not brushing my hair across the roof line of the car, or worrying about moving my head about because of any angles or design faults or challenges in the back. I've got plenty of space to sit here nice and comfortably, and even a little pocket here for my iPad. Okay, so when you're inside the Range Rover Sport, it's a really nice place to be. It's very comfortable. Put your arm on the door. You've got double armrests, and it's very comfortable. You've got lots of movement on the steering column to move the seat about, so if you would like it really the steering wheel really inside the dashboard, or if you like to have it out, you can adjust it accordingly. And of course, it's got the heated steering wheel. So just slip it into drive, and off we go. So obviously, being a sport, a lot of people expect the car to be, or SUV, to be really, really fast. It is quick, and it's certainly no slouch. I wouldn't say it's like a Ferrari or a McLaren or anything like that in terms of speed, but it is a fast SUV. It certainly feels quick enough. You're not driving around sort of thinking, oh, this isn't very quick. It's certainly quick. But as I say, it's not as fast as something like a supercar that you see on the road. If you want that sort of speed, you're going to be looking at the SVR. That's the closest thing you're going to get to that sort of speed. And to be fair, the SVR is a very, very fast car, and it is supercar level in terms of speed. So we're just driving around now, and it's super comfortable. Hardly feel the road, which is obviously very nice for yourself and passengers. The steering isn't the most responsive, but most people who have these sorts of cars do like to drive and waft about and relax without sort of sharp, sudden swings left and right. So that's not an issue. For most Range Rover owners, to be fair, no one's ever said to me, oh, the steering's not responsive enough. It's just something I noticed being quite subtle compared to other sports vehicles. And obviously, being the Sport, it has to have some category and element of sports analysis. Fuel consumption is actually really good. You're not worrying about how much fuel you're burning through, because it's very economical actually for this weight of vehicle, because of course you can have 5 people in very comfortably, all your luggage as well, and you literally just drive around wherever you want to go. Nothing's going to be stopping you. The indicators are nice and solid, as you'd expect, and the whole vehicle, to be fair, has a very solid feel. You've got the start-stop technology, which boosts the economic figures even more, and as you'd expect in a modern day car. I have taken the Range Rover Sport off-road previously, and they are very, very capable. I'd go as far to say that the vehicle will do more than you need it to. For 99% of people, the vehicle will do a lot more than you need it to. I appreciate obviously the SUV is initially designed to go off-road and used largely for off-road purposes and farms and so forth, but obviously we're years ahead now, and people love these vehicles for the practicality, style and design, much more so than what it can do off-road. But if you want to take it off-road, you're not going to find much stopping it, which is reassuring for you to know. Going through streams, puddles, settled water, is going to be very, very easy, and you can wade in this vehicle to quite a depth without any problems. So of course, check the wading depth levels before you do wade through any water, but on a general basis you're not going to come across any problems at all. Parking the vehicle in parking spaces is fine. As with any vehicle, you do get used to the space it takes up. Unlike a supercar, you're not going to be so precious over where it parks, because the doors open a lot less wide than, say, a supercar does, and because you're seated high, you can just step out quite easily in a tighter parking space. That being said, it is important to note that the car is nearly 2 meters in width. If you stamp on the accelerator, this thing does come into action. It does come into life. It actually, from a 0 to 30 perspective, I'd say it's very quick. To be fair, it certainly gets you moving and shifting about. When you start getting that 60 and beyond, obviously the weight and the design of the vehicle is less so there to be doing such driving actions, and obviously there's an element to this car where it's trying to obviously achieve comfort as well. Whilst it is a sport, I wouldn't say it's a raw drive at all. So if you're used to the non-sport option and the luxury of that vehicle, I wouldn't step into the sport and go, oh blimey, this is really, really harsh and firm to drive. It's not that at all. It's just a sportier version of the traditional option. I personally would go for this variant, the 3-litre diesel, because once you go to the 4.4 litre V8, you're getting close to going for the SVR. In terms of pricing, it's not a huge amount away from that, and the SVR is going to be really ticking that sports box that you're after if you're going for that engine level. And the economic side of this vehicle is brilliant, being a diesel. I've heard the 2 litre is very, very good. I'm not going to say I've driven that personally. I'd be a little bit conscious without driving it of the 2 litre, just because obviously it's a relatively small engine in such a big vehicle and heavy vehicle. However, clearly Range Rover know exactly what they're doing, so I'm sure the 2 litre is a great option as well. But I'd certainly recommend test driving the 2 litre, whereas you can literally just jump in the 3 litre without any concerns or check measures to do. So when you stamp on that accelerator, it does shift, and you can slip it into sports mode as well. You literally just slot the gear lever to the left, and you're then in the sports mode. And as I say, 0 to 30, it is quick. Very, very quick car. I'd say once you get over the 30 mark, that's where it has slightly less of an oomph, but certainly keeps you alert, and you can shift about whenever you need to. Viewing the road, seeing what's ahead of you, knowing what's coming ahead, and pre-planning your journey, and like if you're in traffic and so forth, the Range Rover Sport really does come into its own, because you can see everything, anywhere and everywhere. So you're never sort of worried about not being able to see ahead. Whereas if you have a saloon or supercar, sports car, obviously you've got less visibility, you can't see everywhere you're going as easily, and if you're in traffic you often can't see ahead of the car in front of you. With the Range Rover Sport, you can see everything, so you can see where an accident is, where traffic might be coming, how the traffic flow's going for braking, stopping and distance control, and that's another benefit that you have in the Range Rover Sport as well. The digital display works really well. I do like that. I am a fan of the traditional displays also, but everything is going digital, and it's nice and easy. The screen is definitely bigger and more responsive in terms of technology now with the Range Rover brand, and that makes a big difference when you're driving along. Previously, with a little bit of lag and a little bit of issue with the screen being flat on the dashboard, it was a little bit tedious at times with the navigation and media options. But now with the tilted design, a bigger screen, better tech and so forth, there's really not much to worry about when it comes to the infotainment system. With this having so many screens, buying one would be a confident thing to do, because you've got technology in here that's going to be lasting and standing the test of time for quite some time, because it's got so many screens. I mean, there's only so many screens you could ever have, and they've already got 3 in here. So I've covered certainly a lot of bases in that department. Towing things like trailers, horse boxes is a breeze, because there's so much torque and capability in the drive chain, gearbox, and everything is set up for that utility demand that people buy a Range Rover for. If, however, you just like to waft around the city in one because it looks cool, then of course it would tick that box every day too. The seats are nice and spacious. You aren't bolstered up or hugged in too tightly. As I say, the closest way to describe it is probably being in your lounge and just literally driving about. A lounge on wheels.
Using the All Next Car website, you can search for both new and used Range Rover Sport options. However, please bear in mind that Land Rover is about to stop building this particular version of the Range Rover Sport, as you see here today, as a brand new version is about to launch this year in 2022, and we at Your Next Car very much look forward to showcasing that vehicle very soon. So thank you very much for watching yet another Your Next Car video. My name is Danny Nevills, and please remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.